All right, welcome to the McShin Foundation's Get in the Herd podcast here in Richmond, Virginia. We want to do a quick shout out to our sponsors. Up first is the Seed Institute. Seed Institute. If you have any questions about trying to get some trainings, they specialize in trainings, and they also help individuals start their own LLCs. They specialize in startup businesses. They are minority owned as well. So reach out to them, 804-939-0541. And then next up, we have the Farley Center. That was my angel on my shoulder there. We have the Farley Center. They are a treatment center located in Williamsburg, Virginia. If you have any loved ones or anyone that needs some services for substance use disorder and or mental health, give them a call. They have a detox and they take commercial insurances. 804-638-7329. Kelly Eason is the name of their coordinator. Give them a call, the Farley Center. Thank you, Farley Center, for that sponsorship. And then up next, we have Rooted Hair Studios. They are located in Colonial Heights, Virginia. If you give them a call and mention McShin, you'll get 10% off your next hairdo. So go on, get your hair done. Rooted Hair Studio, 804-919-3851. They are located in Colonial Heights, Virginia, and they are locally owned as well. So they're not whatever commercial brand studio. They're locally owned. So give them a call, 804-919-3851. Mention code McShin, get 10% off. And then we have one last sponsor who wanted to remain anonymous. So we do want to shout them out for that sponsorship. They sponsored the podcast. So I don't have anything to sponsor. I don't have anything to say for them.
Lunch today.
Yes, but we do want to shout them out and say, thank you for that. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate all of our sponsors. And with that, we're going to get into our next episode. I've never heard that, but that's the origin of CAP. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
Right.
We have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
Deep in here now.
It's incredible.
I love it.
Me too. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And applying the recovery out there.
I've been to prison and jail, didn't have the time that you had listening to a lot of these new, because prison podcasts have become, they're a big thing with certain, and I listen to a lot of them, and like I hear, the feds are still segregated to this day. If you go, if you make it to the feds to a USP, it's segregated. And this is 2024, and it's when you go walk into this prison, if you're white, you have to be with white people. If you're black, you have to be with black people. If you're Spanish, you're with whatever Spanish. You're segregated, right? So it's segregated, and you take a liking. You form a relationship with somebody who's from in an Aryan brotherhood. You had to have gotten some flack, right? Did you have to fight behind that?
Of course. Listen, he also showed me how to defend myself. Like he gave me sticks, he gave me knives, he gave me everything I needed, the tools I needed. And he always said, "Watch your back. Be the last person in chow hall going out," because they used to gates open. Yeah, the gates would open simultaneously, right? So I always let everybody walk in front of me, and was always the last person going into the chow hall.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I learned when I got locked up my first bid in prison. I was talking to this guy, and he was like, "Look, don't get in the big crowds.
Yeah, that's right.
Go in late.
That's right.
Fall behind. So did he? I mean, did he catch some flack himself?
Long time. He was the head of the Aryan Nation. Let me tell you why he said that I was the guy that he wanted to look out for. Right. In Roanoke, a black guy saved him from a real bad beating. Right. And he said, I looked just like him when he met me. So he said, "Yo, man, you ain't never been to Roanoke for real?" I said, "Yeah, nah, man." And then when I told him my name, he said, "Nah." I said, "Nah, man." But the biggest flack that I got, really, seriously, came from the New York Muslims. It was a big flack with them because I was hanging with this guy. But I said, well, then everything that you're taught and I'm taught to believe about people can't be true. It can't be true. I accept him right where he at. And that's what he told me. I accept you right where you at, man. Regardless of your color, I don't see your color. You know, even though I'm supposed to see your color.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So no.
Did you practice Islam back then?
I did.
So did they would they still let you participate in?
They couldn't stop me. They couldn't stop me. They couldn't stop me because I was an avid learner. I was very avid learner. I speak Arabic. I've learned this language. I love that language. I love to pray. But like I said, personalities.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't personalities over principles. It is in principles over personalities in prison.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me. Like I don't want to get off topic too much, but like all the barriers that were set up in direct opposition, and yet God still found a way to shine the light on you in the most darkest of situations.
Let me share this with you. Never told Jesse this.
Oh, good.
Never told Jesse.
You don't got to tell him now.
I have to.
Yeah, tell us. I mean,
Jesse,
you can tell me.
Jesse is the short version of long time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, long time.
The only thing,
so he's short time.
The only thing,
short long time.
The only thing
short time.
Short time.
The only thing he's missing is the beard that long time had.
Oh yeah, he had the long beard.
He had the long beard.
Well, you should think about a beard, Jesse.
Because when I
live out the dream.
But it was always this guy who said, "Yo, man, you going to child? Let's go.
Yeah.
You going to the gym? Let's go. You know, let's go ahead and run a couple of laps around." You know, that used to catch everybody's eye. Him and I running around the track,
working out together,
doing everything.
Because you weren't supposed to do that.
I wasn't supposed to do that with him.
Either was he, right?
At all.
And y'all just bucked on all that in the spirit of
we bucked on all of
growth.
And serious, one time when Aryan brothers came to me, said, "Yo, man, know your place. You know, stay away from long time." Long time pulled up and said, "Listen, any one of you got a problem, talk to me about it. Don't talk to him about it at all."
Yeah, long time.
And he meant that.
Yeah.
He meant that for the core. And when I was impressed by that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That dude was willing to stand with me against everything else.
Yeah, willing to stand up in the face of all opposition.
Yeah.
That was a strong-minded dude, bro. Yeah. Like very, very intent on his convictions.
You know what you said? Long time, one time. This is a pivotal story in my life. When a dude told long time, "You no longer be a part of us," right? Do you know long mower blades?
Yeah. Lawnmower blades.
Like back then, guys were cutting them in half, using them as tools,
making like swords.
Swords.
Machetes.
He pulled one out and said, "What's that?"
Yep. Run that by me again. Yeah.
And he stuck up I'm telling you, he consistently stuck up with me.
Wow.
And I stayed at Southampton for a long time, man.
Long time.
How long were you there?
I was there for a good 8.5 years. A good 8.5 years. And at 8.5 years,
you did stay there a long time. That's a long time to be somewhere. Yeah.
I was in segregation 3 times for fights. Long time. Got into a fight when we had a big riot on Southampton.
What was it? Was it a race riot?
It was Norfolk and Richmond.
Norfolk against Richmond.
Norfolk and Richmond. And long time said, "Yo, man, I'm pulling you out of this," because the Aryan Nation had nothing to do with it. And when the white guys saw that, oh, he must be his boy. That got to be his boy. You know,
when they started saying stuff like that.
Stuff like that. So then we could free box. We can get in the ring. We can challenge somebody. You know what I'm saying? They call it smokers.
Yeah.
They call it smokers. So I used to challenge all the dudes who said that.
Who were talking that mess.
All the time. Oh, I caught a bunch of beatings, but I beat more than I caught. Because it had everything to do with respect. There were certain words.
What's the worst thing you've seen your time in prison?
I was in the shower with 3 guys. Right? And one of the guys in the shower with me was a newbie, new guy. And I saw 3 guys from the Aryan Nation come to the shower, signal me to get out. Right? They closed the front gates that go out to the yard. And went on about their business.
That's nightmarish.
Yeah,
bro.
we have a lot of viewers in jails, some in prisons, and people out here in the recovery world, you know, that still kind of doing the things that you were able to overcome. All of us in here were able to overcome. You know, you can end up in jail and you can end up in prison, and this is the stuff that you might be.
You can end up in a bad
subjected
spot.
to. For you as an individual, just to even see or hear that happen, it's got to be traumatic, right? You know, that's a traumatic freaking experience, right? You know, to go through to even know it's happening to somebody,
can't do nothing about it.
Yeah,
can't help them.
You know, how much? So where'd you go from Southampton?
Southampton. That's where I met. Shout out to Tim, Timothy Glenn. Met Tim. Where were we at? We were on Deerwin. We were on Deerwin.
So from Southampton, you went to
Deerwin. That's when they started doing a dormitory. Went to Deerwin, then Buckingham, because I was still a knucklehead. I was still
catching charges.
I was still catching
turning
charges
up,
and turning up and everything. Because I was mad for the situation, because to me, I had no business being there.
Right.
Every time an officer gave me a direct order, I give you a direct order, move.
Yeah, disobeying a direct. That's their favorite one.
That was their favorite one.
Yeah,
and it triggered me a lot of times. My defense mechanism for that was when they put me in segregation, I couldn't be fed I couldn't be fed the right way. What I mean is they usually give you a tray, put it in chuck hole. Right, I couldn't be fed that way because I was.
So what would you do? Just throw it back at them?
Nah, I was taking cans, not cans, but cups of teas and throwing it on off. So I was bucking.
I know them seals.
Shaking, not stirred, dog.
So did the seals ever? Did you ever catch a beat down from the seals?
Yeah, I still got the riot shield bruises on my back because they used to come in, and if you've never been kicked with a steel toe boot by a 300-pound CO.
Viewers out there listening, everybody that's tuned in from the jails that's going to catch this, or anybody that just happened to come across it, you hear about this stuff. It's living proof that it's true. Like, you know, not all the COs, they're not going to save you, right? Because you heard about the incident in the shower. Then no COs come save the young, the guy. And now
if they do, they're coming slow.
Yeah, right? They won't take their time, you know, because they're scared themselves, right? And now you got them teaming up and beating somebody in segregation, and that's in the hole in segregation, and they go in there and beating them
for essentially just not doing what he says. Well, he threw the mixture on him too, but you know, also
Dawud, so you're there. So how much time did you end up doing altogether? 20 years
on 75.
Look,
20 years for, because I don't want. So what happened? So you had, because I don't want to tell. I mean, but
check this out. In my 10th year, I was hosting a mutual aid group. That's what we called them, and on peer support. Right. This was before peer support got popular. So
which correctional facility were you at then?
Buckingham. Now I'm in my recovery mode.
Yeah.
All right. So guy walks in and he says he's doing a life sentence for something else. And he comes in, he says, yo, I want to know something. I said, what's up? He said, what I say here will stay here. And he said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'll stay here. Everybody agreed, right? It was about a good 10 of us. And he starts sharing my crime.
Oh, man.
What he didn't get caught. What he didn't get caught for.
That's crazy.
Whoa. What kind of coincidence is that?
Did he know you were in?
He didn't know.
Oh, he's just talking.
He just talking because he said it's on him. You know what I'm saying? It hurt him. It deepened him. You know, and I had to leave out the room for a minute. I had to leave out the room for a minute.
I was saying that the guy that actually committed the crime that he's locked up for comes in to get it, his conscience is messing with him, get it off his chest, and it ends up being the crime that Dawud was locked up for.
So
during the group he's hosting, that's crazy.
During a group that he's hosting,
that's crazy.
I step out for a minute, and at that time I'm a devout Muslim in the group, and I go seek some counsel from a couple of guys. What I should do. And at that time, I'm the law library clerk. You know, I've already done all the paperwork. I've done everything. I already filed every petition.
Got appeals in and
everything.
Stuff.
Yeah, everything. So one of the guys made a suggestion saying, or listen, just get him to write an affidavit statement, right? That of what he did.
Yeah.
Right.
He's already doing a life sentence.
Already doing a life sentence. Right. So he knows intricate parts of the crime that I knew nothing about. So he's writing all this down. So in DOC, when you go get something notarized, because it has to be notarized to be a legal statement, you have to go to the CO on master control. You have to go somewhere where he's a notary, right?
Yeah.
At this time, his name will not be said,
right?
But he's a captain, and he looked at the paper, right? So read the whole statement and everything, locked the entire prison down. All right. Came because I didn't go up. I didn't go up with him when he went to go get notarized. And
you didn't know what was about to transpire.
I didn't know what was about to all I heard was lockdown.
Yeah.
We were on lockdown. And now I got 7 guards coming to my area telling me to turn around, put your hands behind your back, and they escorted me out.
What were they thinking? You made him do it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they charged me with attempted escape. One. Attempted escape, right? And aiding and abetting in an attempted escape. Right? So that's how they charge me. So I'm back in segregation. Now they transfer me to M billing at Powhatan. M billing is
the holiest of holies.
Yes, they put me in that, and I don't know what to do. Right? How
you kept your sanity through this is just amazingly divine.
In Powhatan, in that room, right? I wanted to know what was the purpose for all this. I wanted to know.
Good question.
Why am I going through this? What's going on? You know, so I heard it just as clear. You understand? This is not for you to die.
Yeah.
This is not unto death for you. And the words came to me. DETER. Deter. I'm thinking that I have to stop doing something. That's what I'm thinking. That's what deter means to me, right? I wrote it with a pencil on a piece of toilet paper. I still have that toilet paper today.
You still got the toilet paper?
I still have the toilet paper. Simply because it was the first time that I got clear. Right? I'm supposed to do something. That's my whole purpose. I'm supposed to do something. So here it is. So at first, DETER became delegation established to encourage reentry. That's where I started doing it, because I started seeing a lot of guys coming back in.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Common thing. So I stayed in M billing for 6 months.
It's a long stretch.
And M billing is 70. It's 72. It's 72 and 1.
Yeah.
It's not 24 and 1. It's 72 and 1, where you're there for 72 hours, and then for 1 hour you're out
to shower and
everything like that.
3 days in a shower.
That's it. There is no really going outside, because there is no outside.
No, there is no outside.
There's no outside. So when I finally got released, I ended up at Coffeewood. Way up in
so what happened with the
nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
Nothing happened. I was charged with attempted escape.
And then you were sent to Powhatan, so you're separated from the guy.
Right? So I go to Coffeewood, and I meet Brian Manuel. Shout out the Brain. That's what he was called. They called him the Brain.
These nicknames are the best.
He must have
long
been
time.
Like,
the Brain, Skinny Pimp.
He was the guy that was like really like he was the guy in the law library clerk. He showed me exactly what I should do. I told him my story. He showed me exactly what to do. We got in contact with Innocent Project. Right?
Oh yeah.
Right. We
got shout out the Innocent Project.
We got in contact with them. We got in contact with a lot of people, and they found dude.
Still incarcerated.
Still incarcerated. They found him. They sent him to a place known as King Mountain.
King Mountain.
Right. That's where they
way in the mountains.
Way in the mountains.
Way in the mountains.
That's how far they separated us. I told him find him and he'll tell you everything. That's all I did. That's all I told Innocent Project, right? And to my surprise, Innocent Project contacted a person by the name of Joe Morrissey.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
They contacted Joe Morrissey.
They contacted Joe Morrissey,
who at the time was just like the best lawyer in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Was he still a defense attorney then?
He still was a defense attorney. He talked to a bunch of people. He came to interview me, right? To get the whole story. 10 years later, it took. It took another 10 years.
Decade.
It took a whole another 10 years.
Legal system is
Legal
very,
system.
very slow. Hurry up and wait situation.
Governor McDonald, 2013, heard it, said he had heard enough. Right. December 13th, 2013. They said B&B.
Jesus.
They released you.
They released me. Hey man, it was like the story. Remember, if anyone's ever seen Medea goes to jail, when she finally found out that she was free, all she did was run out.
Did like all the charges got what happened? So how that
This is how it took once I released, it took them 5 years to expunge.
expunged everything.
Expunged that. But remember, I was addict before, so I still had charges before in New York that kept me still as a felon.
Yeah. But so they say they wrongfully convicted you. They admitted to all of that.
They admitted to everything like that. Everything. Admitted everything. My son at that time was 1 year old.
Before you went in, he was
Before I went, I promised him and his mother, any money I get, I'm giving to you. Because she raised him not to be me, right? Not to be, because I was a drug addict, right? And I was robbing and stealing and manipulating, doing everything. And she told me she would not raise him to be like me. Because a lot of people, just so you know, a lot of people in my family, most of my family, really thought I did it.
Oh, they didn't think you were innocent.
No, they didn't think I was innocent.
Even your own family.
And even my own family. My sisters cut me off. I didn't get a visit, a postcard, a letter, or money on my books the whole 20 years I was locked up.
Like all you got is long time. You know, just people that just end up being in your life then, but your family, the people that you hold closest and dearest, even think that you did this thing.
Yeah.
Just based off lifestyle.
Just based off lifestyle
choices.
Lifestyle choices prior too.
Yeah.
So everybody
Your
had
history.
they convicted me when everybody else convicted me. When I first got arrested, they convicted me. Right.
So how old were you when you ended up getting released?
Yeah.
In your 40s?
In my 40s.
Yeah.
In my 40s.
And it was 2013.
2013.
And then everything got expunged. And I know you see, so I know I would have sued the heck out of them.
I did.
Definitely would have did that, man.
I did.
And then you get out and when did DETER start?
Okay.
DETER.
The DETER started. It took, well, first of all, my first thing I did when I got home is I saw the therapist.
Oh, that's good. Definitely need that because that's that PTSD from.
I mean, months and months and
the stuff that happened.
The beatings, the traumatic experiences.
I saw the therapist, and my therapist helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Right. When I first met you at your house, I had just came from a therapy session with my therapist because I needed someone who would be unbiased, unjudgmental, and everything.
I didn't even think you had just got it. Wasn't too long. You just got out because that was right.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
and that's why it was so. And that was the first person's house I had been in. You know what I'm saying? Like been in, and you just made it real comfortable
and welcoming. Because you probably already felt awkward, really state struck,
you really
whatever.
did. And I kept on looking at and I'm about to ask him, say, "Yo, man, you got family in prison? Man?
You got an uncle named Long Time?"
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember that.
Yeah, man, that joint was like really. It made me feel real comfortable. Walter made me feel comfortable. You know, shout out to you, Walter. Everybody made me feel real comfortable. And then I started attending NA groups and everything like that, doing everything, going in the rooms. My therapist said that I needed a different kind of recovery path. My recovery path had to do with meditation. I need healing.
Yeah.
I needed healing for everything I've been through. you know. And one of the things that helped my healing was acupuncture.
Acupuncture, yeah.
It helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand the degrees of my anger. Right? It would show up, you know, out of nowhere, right? In verbalization, toward people, how I would talk to people.
Right.
And it would show up. And it isn't the person or what that person is saying. What's happening is I'm being triggered by all the events that have previously happened. So
can you do acupuncture? Did you ever learn it?
No, I have Miss Nini who does. Thank you, Miss Nini.
Shout out to Nini.
She really, really like. Oh yes.
Do you get the full on? Do you do the? Is it in the ears?
In my ears everywhere. I started DETER. I started DETER with a little bit of money, right? A little bit of money, and I decided that this is my way of giving back. Right? It's going to be nonprofit. I got a grant as soon as I asked for it. I didn't have to do a lot. I wrote a simple grant, gave me $50,000. I went ahead and I said, okay, let's go. I'm on a race. I'm running.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, so, and like I said, I had wrote.
And then it's been good.
It's been good ever since. I wrote forensic peer in Powhatan. I wrote the whole outline of what it was going, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't forensic.
Great training too.
Yeah.
What services does DETER offer?
All right. We train. Okay. All right. I train CPR, first aid, AED. I train trauma-informed care, motivational interviewing, forensic peer support. Right. I'm starting now crisis intervention. Right. Crisis intervention training. I love that. And the trauma training is my own self-realization.
Yeah.
Right. It's my own self-realization that no matter what we go through, it isn't what we go through. It's how we deal with what we go through and come out on the other side, how that looks. So I don't want to look, of course we don't look like who we used to be, but what was the process we had to go to get here?
Yeah. I remember that in your training specifically, like you really focused on the trauma piece of it. And like that was like the biggest section in the FPRS training that I took under you. Yeah. Now it's more understandable. Like the picture's a little brighter here.
That trauma piece, because people go through stuff. People go through stuff. And and remember, trauma is the experience and effect and how they cope with that. Right? Some people don't cope with it. They bury it. Right? When it comes out in behaviors, attitudes. You know, sometimes it'll come out uncontrolled crying.
You
know, I cried one day when I saw an officer who had beat me down on Broad Street. I started crying. My girl said, "What's going on?" I can't even share with you what I'm experiencing right this moment.
All internal.
And I kept it in. Right. I kept it in because my biggest fear was walking up to him. He could have said anything. He could have said, "Yo, man, I'm glad you're okay," and everything. He could have said all that, right? I didn't give him that opportunity because I didn't want to take that risk of how I would respond to anything he said.
I'm with you on that. You just never know. You know, I just want to make sure we hone in on those services that DETER offers. DETER offers. Everybody out there that was listening, you know, any type of training. You just listed from FBRS, CPRS, CPR, first aid, trauma informed. The trainings there. Some of them you can get CEs, right? And right here is his website. We're checking out his website here. It's a nonprofit. You know, so you got it right here. You know, if you want to get a training, if you need anything, what phone number should they contact?
804-299-1033.
804-299-1033. Give them a call, you know, check them out. We're going to have some more information posted on the rest of our podcast about DETER. And I think Dawud, we're going to try to get you back here, man.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, it really is. We're going to have to break this down because you know, we you know, it was a lot, man. I really do want to go dive more into this, but we're just running out of time because we're at our hour mark. We definitely have to break this down, man, and get you back on here, Dawud. We got a training coming up. So we got FBRS training coming up on April You remember what it is?
25th and 26th.
April 25th and 26th. If you're interested in attending this training, you can reach out to that number provided, or you can just call McShin as well, and we'll help set it up. 804-249-1845. If you're interested in the FBRS training, you'll get how many C's is it for? It's
26 C's.
26 C's. So you need it for your recertification, or if you need it for any type of certification that you have, give us a call, get into that training. It's filled up fast. We already got a bunch of our staff are taking it. So it's going to fill up real quick. So there's only a few seats remaining. So give us a call if you're interested. And that CPR first aid, that's just closed for staff. So we're not going to announce that one, but that is one coming up as well. So look, Dawud, thank you for coming on here. I just real quick, Trav, I don't know if you have any parting words.
Yeah, I do. I'm reminded of an interesting quote I heard, and this is I mean, what a ride you just took us down. And you know what God says no to, nobody can say yes to, and what God says yes to, nobody can say no to. And they were saying no, and their no's didn't work in your situation, and I'm glad for it. And this was great, Dawud. Thank you, man.
Man, thank you for allowing me to have a therapy session.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, seriously stuff.
You got anything parting words you want to say, Dawud? Anybody out there?
I want everyone to know. Listen, it works, man. The process works. Whatever you do, do not give up. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's happening, immediate and right now, do not give up. I'm proof that if you do not give up, on the other side, it looks a whole lot better than what you went through when you began it.
And Dawud's living proof of it.
That's right, living proof, man. 20 years for a crime he didn't commit. He didn't give up. He stayed focused. He kept his courage, man. Kept his composure through it. Here he is on the other side, man. I'm doing great things, man. I'm glad that we're able to partner on a lot of stuff. And look forward to having you on here some more, Dawud.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Anytime.
Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.